Well, you know, Sharyn, one of the things I really enjoy is I love being behind the scenes. And one of my favorite questions to ask is kind of to share with me the backstory. Give me the who was Sharyn before she got started, the journey that Sharyn's been on, and what is Sharyn doing today? What is her number one focus? So take a moment and give us your backstory.
Oh, absolutely. Who Sharyn was, just growing up, I was the baby of 7 kids. I was a single mom whose father, like my father actually died a couple of weeks before I was born, her husband, and he was a veteran. And so I am the baby of 7, just coming up in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Oklahoma is a red state. So a little country, a little cool athlete growing up, just tagging around my siblings and watching them and trying to learn and do from them. And then just what I saw was a lot of people who knew how to work, but not a lot of people who knew how to be in business for themselves. Like most of the people who ran businesses or had like some type of influence, they were probably doing something illegal, just in my bubble, not everywhere, but within the bubble and what I saw. And so I actually just wanted to know, is it possible to sustainably do some things? Even at that young age, I was like, is it possible to sustainably do some things where you can live your best life and influence others without getting on the other side of, being legal? And so I just came up through that. Graduated from Oral Roberts University, just a regular person. Really, that's it. Just a regular person, love basketball, love people, and came up out of Oklahoma.
Regular person, that's okay. By the way, welcome from all the way from Oklahoma. Where do you reside today?
I am in the DFW, Dallas-Fort Worth. I'm in Dallas-Fort Worth. A few years back, maybe in 2012, one of the companies, a great, fast-growing company, multi-million-dollar company that started with like a volunteer and a consultant. They asked me to come on, and they were so gracious as to ask me to come on, give me a pretty nice package, corporate housing for a year, and was like, hey, we know that you do leadership, but we'd like for you to do this part with us. And so it was great. It introduced me to my warm market now, which is the medical field, which amazingly, going back to how I came up, my mother worked in the hospital for all of the days that I can remember. And so now being able to work in hospitals on this side is just amazing. So that's how I came to be in DFW. I joined this company, just over contracts, over all temporary personnel, all interim personnel, working with CNOs and CEOs. Wasn't working with them when I was growing up, but working with them now, just CNOs and CEOs, and really learning how to hear behind the question and deal with people's pain points.
Fantastic. I love it. I know we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Hold Your Form. We're going to talk about your book. We're going to talk about living on purpose. But take a moment if you can and share with us, what's your big why? I mean, you could be doing a lot of things with your time. Why are you doing this?
Why I do this, even at this time, is, man, everything is possible. And so my why is to influence people to not wait on something external to motivate them toward their dreams, but to recognize you already have it internally in you. There's already some dreams and some desires and some innate strengths, gifts, and abilities that give you a predisposition towards certain things. And I want people to stop ignoring that and step out into that, and as you have license and liberty in that, you'll give somebody else license and liberty and to unlock their own self. And so that's my big why. I've seen people work to their fingers to the bone and come to the end of their years and they have some regrets. I've seen people allow fear to keep them from stepping out because they had a false sense of security. And you know what? It turned out it wasn't secure at all, because you can lose a job. Nothing is promised. And so you asked me my big why. My big why is because I want everybody to be able to live to the fullest. No shade. It doesn't have to look like mine, but I want it to look like theirs. And so that's my big why. I am passionate about it. And I'm passionate about doing whatever I can to help people unlock that.
I love it. Let people live to their fullest. Thanks for sharing your big why. We're going to get into Hold Your Form. We're going to get into living on purpose. We'll get a little bit into emotional intelligence. I can't wait. Look, I'm getting the signal that it's time to get started. We're going to have a great show. We're going to change some lives. We're going to make a difference. So with that being said, let's take it away right now and give me the signal. We're going to get going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's get ready to go, everybody.
Go ahead and give a big standing ovation for the one and the only Shay Brown.
Every morning in Africa, a gazelle wakes up and it knows it must outrun the fastest lion or be killed and eaten. Also every morning in Africa, A lion wakes up and knows it must outrun the slowest gazelle or it will starve to death. You've heard it before. It doesn't matter whether you're a lion or a gazelle. When the sun comes up, you better be what? You better be running. That's right. That's right. You better be running. Life is about meaning, and meaning is about service. Isn't that the reason why we're all here? Isn't that what we're all searching for? 2013, the Peak Performance Institute was created. 5,000 clients who we've helped turn their idea into a reality, their reality into a business, their business into a movement, impacting 5.7 million lives around the world. Imagine that! My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Network, the world's largest organization for the well-being of an entrepreneur. And as we always say, our mission at the Happy Entrepreneur Network, our mission is to inspire, empower, and provide resources for the entrepreneur to live a balanced life and execute their vision for the people they were called to serve. And our mantra, I love our belief. Everyone should have a belief statement. Our belief is the results that show up in your life are just as important as the results that show up in your bank account. With that being said, let's get started. Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country where we have a mission. And our mission is to inspire. Our mission is to empower. And our mission is to provide the resources necessary for you, the entrepreneur, to execute 3 types of visions that you have. You have a vision for yourself, how you want to live, the type of foods you want to eat, where you want to go. You have a vision, #2, for your loved ones, the ones you care the most about, the type of restaurants you want to eat in, the schools you want them to attend, the vacations you want to take. And you also have a vision for the people you were called to serve, those you want to help be better at what they do, improve the quality of their business, improve the quality of their life. And it takes resources. That's money. It takes resources. That's expertise. It takes resources. That's, in many cases, labor. And that's what we're here. And this morning, this evening, this afternoon, no matter what time it is, wherever you are in the world, Sharyn Combs showed up for one reason and one reason only, and that's to give you the resources. So what's up, Sharyn Combs? What's going on over there, my friend?
Man, I'm loving life, loving life. Lots of things are going on. How you doing tonight, Shay?
Man, I'm doing just fine. And it was a pleasure meeting you. I know we had a chance to talk this past weekend. We got to meet in person. It was amazing. And if you can, for the folks that are attending right now, and I see them out there, I see Ebony Banks is out there watching. Siobhan Woodward is watching right now. What's up? Sharon Green is in the house. Kim Wyckoff is in the house. Nathaniel Johnson, is always a pleasure. Eric Watson, my brother, he is in the house. Take a moment, if you will. Take a moment as they're listening. And we have a belief. We have a core value. And our core value is today is my January 1. Today is my January 1st. Today is my January 1st. And that represents that pivotal moment where you make a decision. And there's moments like that every single day. You make a decision and you decide you're going to do something. And by doing it and taking action, it changes your life or changes your business. Yeah. Take a moment if you can and tell us, what was your January 1st moment where you decided that this is what you were going to major in, this is what you were going to be an expert in, you were going to be an entrepreneur no matter what. For everyone who's out there watching right now, we don't wait till the 1st of January, Siobhan Ford. We do it today, Sherry Ford. Look below the video and write these words. Today is my January 1st. I get a new start. Today is my January 1st. I get a reboot. Today is my January 1st. I'm going to outwork my potential. I'm ready. Take it away, Sharyn.
Oh, my January 1st. That moment would have been March 16th in 2016. I'd worked corporately. I'd worked in alley professionals where it's not corporate, but it's more manual and implementation level. And so I'd worked and I had a very strong work ethic. And I saw people all around me with a strong work ethic. But on that moment, on that day, what I realized was, again, people work their fingers to the bone. And I had a dream. Even as a child, there were things I wanted to do. I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to have my own money. I wanted to have more than one stream of income. And I kept waiting for it to be the right time. But on March 16th, 2016, what had happened was I had set up a website. I'd set up enough funding. to cover me through whatever period I thought would be. Like, I was trying to set all these things up to make it in perfect order, and the website wasn't ready to go. And my web designer was like, well, let's wait here and let's wait there. And I'd seen people wait. But on that day, what happened is I was just like, you know what? No, we're going to hit the button anyway, and we're going to go live, because there's always a reason not to. But we're going to continue to move forward. And as a good friend of mine and a mentor of mine, Delatoro McNeil, say, start ugly. And so I said, no, we're gonna go live on this button. And that was my January 1, March 16th. That is like a birthday of sorts for me. But March 16th, 2016, because again, there's always a reason not to. And I've seen people get lots of resources financially and lots of other things, but sometimes those things can prevent you from moving forward into the real reason for your existence, or the real thing that is inside of you, that true capacity, not just where you're doing the minimum, but where you're doing the most out of that true capacity. So that was my January 1st. That was my moment when I was like, no, I'm in. I'm all in. If I can work 60 hours for someone else, I can definitely work 45 to 80 for myself.
I like that. You work 45 to 80 for yourself, not 60 for someone else. I love it. That's right on target. That is hilarious. Hey, look. You decided to push the button. You decided you're going to move forward. Congratulations on taking action. Kim Capley is out there watching. On Checkmate Hudson, I owe you a phone call. He's out there watching right now. This is a great guy, by the way. Venus is out there watching. Take a moment, if you will. You talked about today is your January 1st. Your moment back on March 10th. Take a moment, if you would, and tell us what are the first 3 things you did. Because I'm always curious. When someone decides they're going to make a decision, they decide that this is their moment, this is their time. What's the first 3 things you did?
The first 3 things I did from that moment was I set some things in place, like systems of accountability, to be sure that I was working on things. One of the first things I did, I know people say get your plan and count the cost. The first thing I did was I made myself accountable. I put it out there. I put it out there to people. I'm real big on my word. If I said I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. And so I'm real big on my word. And so I made myself accountable to mentors, spiritual fathers, business partners. And I was like, this is what I'm going to do. Another thing I did was I went ahead and got me a tax ID number, a real one. I said, if we're going to start this, we're going to start it correctly so that it can handle the structure. And I think the last thing I did was, real story. The last thing I did wasn't so much just about getting the business started, was I went and got back in that mirror and told myself who I was, what I was called to. And I kind of went over my qualifications and my whys. I made sure that I had my whys intact. So that's an internal thing that I did that wasn't so much as external, but I made sure my whys were intact because I knew adversity would come. And if those whys weren't intact, I was going to waver. So I wanted to be strong in that.
Well, congratulations and taking action. Congratulations on that wave. I know we're going to get into the book, Hold Your Form. I know we're going to get into leadership. We're going to get into some questions. And I love the first chapter of your book, by the way. It says, get them wind. Get them wind. And the quote is one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on the show, everyone. The quote says, endurance will beat and outlast enthusiasm every single time. Let me say that again. Endurance will beat and outlast enthusiasm every single time. I can't wait till we get into this. But first, you gave us your January 1st moment. You told us 3 things you did. For the entrepreneur that's watching, for the person that's sitting in your seat where you were back before your January 1 moment, what would you say to them are 3 things they can do to get started, but more importantly, to stay on track and be consistent?
The first thing I would do is I would ask them who's in their ear. Because if the entrepreneur who's watching right now wants to get started, but they haven't gotten started, I would ask them who's in their ear. Because somewhere the counsel is almost signing off on you being still instead of you taking action and having movement. So the first thing I would do is ask them to vet and qualify who's in their ear, what source of counsel that they're following. Another thing I would do is ask them just as far as finances, because finances are so important and you want to be able to eat and be able to take care of your basic needs. I would encourage them to make sure that they have really some source of revenue. Don't just jump out there ad hoc. Have you looked at your market? Do a SWOT analysis of your market. Is there a market for what you're doing? And I think the last thing I would tell them to do, if they're looking now and they know that they want to be an entrepreneur, man, I would ask them, how much time do they think they have? Real talk. How much time do you think you have?
Yeah.
We so often wait on, when this is right here, when this is that. How much time do you think you have? because more than likely you have more yesterdays than you do tomorrows. And so let's cut it out and let's move forward. You're well able to do it. Go ahead and move forward.
Yeah, go ahead and move forward. If everyone is watching, like Pony Williams, like Franklin Morris, like Venus, what's up, D. Bowden, Patricia, who's in the house, hit the share button. Like, look right there at the video, hit the share button. And when you hit the share button, write these words, take action. Just hit the share button and write these words, take action. For many of you out there, that's all it's going to be about. All you need is one idea. And how many ideas do you really need to change your life? One. Because one good idea implemented is better than 1,000 ideas you know right now. And when we come back, we're going to pause for a moment. We're going to go over to the other side, not Houston, Texas, but over to Austin, Texas, to none other than Anthony Abram. And Anthony Abram is going to talk about understand what you were designed to do. That's what he's going to talk about. And when we come back, I'm going to ask probably the most important question. And that is for Sharyn Combs to kind of share with us, what is the philosophy behind hold your form, which I have a shirt on right now, hold your form, and why is that important for every single one of you? We'll be back in just a moment.
Hey, I need you to listen, like, now, please. Now, my dad's about to do something absolutely amazing. I need you to hit that like button and share this to all your friends. Please?
This is Anthony Abram, and I am excited to be back with you guys one more again at the Happy Entrepreneur Show. Today is my January 1st. Now look, last week we talked about number 1, but now we're going to talk about number 2 and how to maximize your potential. The second step in maximizing your potential is this, is you got to understand what you were designed to do. Again, you got to understand what you were designed to do. Now, I remember this story. I remember back some years ago when I bought my son a drum set. All right. And I bought this drum set and I set up before Christmas trying to put it together, but I was going to be the big man, right? I didn't need the instructions. I was going to put it together. I must have set up all night trying to put that drum set together. And, you know, I had this piece here and that piece there. And ultimately, you know, somebody had to come knock me on my head and say, boy, read these instructions and make it work. It's like, now I understand this piece fits into here. The same thing happens with you guys. Once you begin to understand what you were designed for and you ask your source what you were designed for, it makes it a lot easier for you to fit in and better understand where you fit into this world, how you were designed to be great, and how to show up at your best life. Okay? So listen, again, remember what you were designed for. Okay? Before I get out of here, hey, come back in next week for step number 3. Hey, listen, again, this is Anthony Abram. Thanks for tuning in to Happy Entrepreneur Show. As always, I leave you with this. Sow good seeds, do good work, reap, then teach to repeat. Until next week. Peace.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome back to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country where we have a mission. And our mission is to empower, our mission is to inspire, and our mission is to provide you with the resources necessary to execute the vision you have for the people you were called to serve. And I'm really excited because we have Sharyn Combs on the other side. And one of the things that Sharyn is doing is Sharyn's over there focusing really heavily tonight on helping you improve the quality of your life, helping you stay on purpose, helping you make sure that you achieve what you're looking to achieve. And she wrote a book, and the book is called Hold Your Own. And Sharyn, if you can, take a moment and talk about what is the philosophy and the narrative of Hold Your Own, and why is this book important? It's called Hold Your Form. Hold Your Form. I've got the shirt on.
Hold your form. Hold your form. Hold your form is super important. If I can just speak layman's term, hold your form allows you to keep what you worked for. It allows you to keep what you work for. In today's world, there's so many things vying for your attention. There's so many shiny new objects. And wherever your attention is, your intention will follow. So you have to be able to hold your form. And as just even with the gentleman and down in Austin just was talking to us about, knowing kind of who yourself. First off, you have to know what your form is. What is your form? But you want to be able to hold your form so you can keep what you work for. So something external can't come and hit you in your finances or your emotions and cause you to get out of whack. And maybe within a 5 to 10 minute period, you do something that undermines what you took 5 to 10 years to get. And so holding your form is emotional intelligence 101. Being aware of yourself and your triggers. And when you get really good at it, you can be aware of other individuals' triggers, and you can learn how to navigate conversations. You can learn how to navigate promotion. You can learn how to navigate this thing that is called life, and not ignoring your feelings, but not allowing your feelings to put you in a compromised position. So I want to help everybody learn how to hold their form, how to really look at holding your form and staying true to what it is you're called to do.
And can you share with us a time where, if you don't mind being authentic for a second, where you had to hold your form?
Oh man, what? Oh, in so many instances. Definitely one of the times I had to hold my form is I worked for a company. Just being transparent, I worked for a company, and the company that I worked for, there would be times that they would do things that were suspect, man. It was just suspect, just not even just suspect, for lack of a better word. And so during one of those instances, there was a time when the owner of the company was like, you stand right here, and had somebody else stand right next to me. And we were in a group of individuals, right? It was a group of us. And the owner used that time to do some things that would really make me feel shame, like I didn't measure up or I wasn't right, and it had nothing to do with performance of work. It had to do with just a style of clothing and the fact that I felt like I was more focused as far as personality and not so much as far as happy hour. And in that case, in that instance, they went opposite of me. And I felt some type of way about that because it wasn't about performance. It wasn't about work. It had nothing to do with work. It was very unprofessional and litigious area that we live in. That could have been a lawsuit right off the bat. But I had to hold my form there, not only, and in that case, holding my form and I could have said something, but for what? In that case, for what? That's a personal thing. So that was the time I kind of had to hold my form and just take it on the chin like that. Because had I said something, or had I been like, that's it and it's over, then you know what? I wouldn't have been a part of the Millionaire Club 5 years running, making, millions in sales. So there are times when you have to hold your form and know how to choose your battle. And that's one of them. There are times when people will try to come for you, and you have to recognize your real battlefield. Sometimes not having the last word does have the last word. I don't know if were you able to understand what I was saying?
Yeah. Oh no, that was spot on. And I guess my question is, who is this book written for? I mean, who should read this book?
This book should be read by anybody in college. I know we say people who are millennials, but this book should be read for anyone in college, definitely millennials. And it also should be read for anyone who is going through promotion. Because when you get a promotion, and starting your own business is a promotion. I just want to let you know that. You automatically move up to CEO. But anytime people get promotions, what happens is people who you used to be kind of level with here, you become more visible because you're stepping out. You're doing something that's not the norm. And when you do that, you're going to have a lot of people who speak on you. Some will speak good. Some will speak bad. Some will speak from a place of understanding. Some will speak from a place of ignorance. And so this book is for them because I don't want them to waste their time. There's a chapter in here that deals with dead conversations and dead endeavors. I don't want people to waste their time trying to prove something to someone that doesn't have a dog in the fight or who's not invested. And so that's what this book is for. Millennials, anyone in college, people who may know how to do something technically, but they don't know how to navigate this thing that deals with personalities and increase. I do want to say this. I graduated from Oral Roberts in the biblical, the Bible, which is the #1 bestseller. A lot of people always talk about my promised land. And sometimes we talk about things, but we don't really read what we're talking about. And one of the things that hits me about the promised land, just off that story, I'm not preaching to anybody tonight. I'm not preaching to him, Shay. But just off that story, what really stuck out to me is when that group of people who were the Israelites were going into their promised land, Nobody in the promised land was happy to see him. And so that's a message right there. Sometimes when we do something or we step out, we expect everybody to be like cheering for us, like, yay, yay, yay. And that's an unrealistic expectation. And if you're not aware of that, then again, you may get hit in your emotions, and then you won't hold your form because you're like, well, they should do this. No, that's the wrong conversation. Focus on what you're here to do. Don't worry about those shoulds. Focus on your plan, on your business, on what you are doing and building.
So very well said. And I've heard a lot of analogies. First time I heard that one. I love that, by the way. Spot on. That was spot on. Take a little time to do a deep dive into the chapter 4, Dead Conversations, Dead Endeavors. You brought that up, and it was kind of important because you talked about being intentional with your tongue. So first, kind of frame the conversation for those folks that heard you just make reference to it, so we can go a little deeper in it. They can kind of understand the takeaway and what they can take away and how they can use that being intentional with your tongue in their life.
All right, excellent. I'll be glad to do so. We're talking to the entrepreneurs out there, those who are thinking about moving forward and those who have moved forward. And one of the things with dead conversations and dead endeavors, you want to know who you're talking to. And if you know who you're talking to, you can be intentional in that conversation. Here's a bonus to you also. If you're talking to someone and you may want their business in the future, don't get stuck talking. And it's someone you already know. Don't get stuck talking just on, man, what we used to do, or a picnic or a reunion, or how we went to school together. Begin to future pace your conversation. If you're in real estate, begin to talk to them about how you're changing lives by helping people, sell their house in minimal time, or get into a new house and not have to pay closing costs. Begin to future pace that conversation. So that right there, like, that's not a dead conversation, because that can lead to a fruitful endeavor. On the back end of it, conversations that do not benefit you, do not benefit what you're working toward, do not benefit anyone in the audience. Those are conversations that you want to kind of get out of and move away from quick. You don't even want to lend your tongue to that. You don't even want to lend your mouth, your words to that, because if it's not benefiting anyone, it's only going to eat away at credibility. It's going to eat away at your hope and your faith. It's going to eat away even at your vision if you have too many of those conversations. And so I like to tell people and share with individuals, especially those that are new to promotion or new to starting their business, you're vulnerable at that time. This chapter talks about that. When you're about to take massive action, or you're about to make a change in your life, starting your business, you're actually more vulnerable than you know at that time. And so you want to guard your conversations at that time. I'm going to use Shay for an example. If the only thing I know about Shay is Shay and I hanging out at the water cooler at work, and Shay's never had a business, and no one at the water cooler has ever had a business, and I'm like, hey man, I'm going to go start this business, then Shay at that point wouldn't be my source of counsel. Like, he can't really tell me anything to help me run a business. He can't tell me about an LLC. He can't tell me about being self-directed. He can't tell me about being a self-starter. He can't tell me about getting used to the fact that I don't have to go clock in, but I still have to get up and work on my dreams. And he can't tell me those things that you're going to need as an entrepreneur. So with dead conversations and dead endeavors, if you get into that chapter, what you'll see is just, you have to know who you're talking to and what you're talking about. And don't waste your time on conversations that don't bring value or do not help move you or your loved ones in the direction that you want to see, that you want to reach, the goals you want to reach.
That is so well said. Thank you so much for sharing that. That is so powerful. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking to the one and only Sharyn Combs herself. She's here talking about hold your form. Don't worry, I'm going to ask her about emotional intelligence. I'm going to ask her, what does it mean? I'm going to ask her, how's that even relevant? I'm going to ask her about some of the things that she teaches from a leadership perspective as well. So you're at the right place. You're at the right time. And this indeed is your year. If that's you, look right below the video right now. Look right below the video and write these words. Finish strong. Finish strong. You're going to hold your form and you're going to finish what you started strong. There's a story she talks about her nephew. I'm not going to give the whole book away in the chapter. Just an amazing story, but you've got to finish strong. And what's the relevance of that? Well, Dr. Kim Warren Martin, down in Little Rock, Arkansas, she says the same thing. She says, you know what, Shay? It's time to finish strong. We'll be back in just a moment. We come back, I'm going to ask Sharyn. Sharyn, give us one. No, give us two. No, Sharyn, give us 5 ways that we can live on purpose. We can walk on purpose. We can take action on purpose and wrap it all around the purpose theme. We'll be back in just a moment. I promise you, you don't want to miss number 1. You don't want to miss it. We'll be right back. Look right below the video and write these words. What's up, Nana? Finish strong. Dr. Kim Warren Martin, take it away.
Hey there, happy entrepreneurs. This is Dr. Kim Warren Martin, founder of Successful and Fulfilled. Excited to share my thought of the week here on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. This week's thought is finish strong. Performance expert Gary Ryan Blair said, "You can't finish what you don't start, and you should never start what you're not committed to finishing." So if you know who you are, what you want, and why you want it, then you can still just go for it. So here are 5 logical steps to finishing strong. Step 1, get a clear picture of what finishing looks like for you. And not just finishing, but finishing strong. Is it a revenue goal, a customer goal, a relationship goal? Know what it is for you and be sure to write it down. Step 2 is to map out the course to getting there, to reaching your goal, and focus on that goal and that definition only. Step 3 is to believe in yourself. Take 100% responsibility, own your brilliance, and forget external circumstances or what others might have to say. Step 4 is commit to staying the course. Commit to finishing, commit to completing it. And step 5 is to take action and celebrate small wins along the way. Hey, happy entrepreneurs. Today is your January 1st. So if you're not committed to finishing strong, stop right there because you have a decision to make. Blair also said, coded in our genes is an extraordinary will, an indomitable spirit, a relentless, strong ethos that is incapable of being overcome, extinguished, or vanquished, except by you. Now, I added that last part because you are the only one that can stand in the way of what you want. This is Dr. Kim Warren Martin, founder of Successful and Fulfilled, with the thought, finish strong, here on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. Remember this, if you're brave enough to start, you're strong enough to finish. Until next time, make it a great day. Back over to you, Shay.
Make it a great day and welcome back to the Happy Entrepreneur Show. My name is Shay Brown, the host of the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country where we have a mission. We have a mission, and our mission is to inspire, our mission is to empower, and our mission is to provide the resources necessary to execute the vision for the people you were called to serve. And so, welcome back. And one of the things that we shared, we said, look, Sharyn Combs, look, the author of Hold Your Form. Hold Your Form. We asked her if she would share at least 5 ways that you can stay on purpose. So, Sharyn, please share way number 1.
All right. Way number 1 is you want to identify the thought. If you want to stay on purpose, you want to already have an idea. So I'm assuming that there's already a plan that you have or a direction you want to go. And so in order to think on purpose and be deliberate and intentional in your thought life, you have to identify the thoughts. And what I mean by identify the thoughts, sometimes we have thoughts or we assign meanings to thoughts. And that's not just because we assign a meaning. Say, for instance, you come in late and you're like, everyone's going to laugh at me. No, everyone's not going to laugh at you. Everyone doesn't know you've come into the room. And so you just take the thought as a standalone thought and you examine that thought and you ask yourself the origin and intent. Where did this thought come from? Does this thought come from something in my business? Is this something that the numbers are telling me? Is this something that the analytics are telling me? Like, where did this thought actually come from? And then you ask yourself the intent. Where will this thought lead me? If I follow this train of thought, how will this influence me? And so you want to identify the thought and then identify the origin and the intent of the thought. And then once you have that, as far as staying on purpose and being focused on what you're doing, holding your form, you're able to make a decision. Do I still follow this thought or do I replace this thought with something from my vision? If it's not conducive to your vision, then you want to go ahead and replace it. If it lines up with everything that you're doing and it's in alignment, then just stay right there. And then the next thing you want to do is you want to ask yourself these questions. You have the thought, you know that this is a solid thought, it's a foundational thought. It is correct. This is something you can trust this. This is some good quality information. Ask yourself what needs to be done right now about the things that I'm thinking. And this can be anything. This can be about your business. This can be about your marketing strategy for the upcoming year. This can be about a new hire, whatever it is. Now that you have the information and you know which direction you're going to go, what needs to be done right now, what needs to be done this week, and who and what will it involve, just to be sure that you are taking care of everything. Like, what can I do? Who and what will it involve? And when you get to that part about who and what, that is number 5, will it involve? There is another component to that I like to say, what can be done today to ensure success? What can I do today to ensure that my end goal is going to come to fruition? And if that means, is there an email I need to send out to remind somebody, hey, we're meeting on this day? Whatever I can do today to make sure that I stay on track and that end goal will be successful. So just repeating those one more time, you want to identify that thought. You want to do the origin and intent of a thought, because we live in a world and we're all the sum of where we've been, but it doesn't mean that that's all we are. And so we want to be sure that we're vetting our thought processes and that the thoughts we have and that are our drivers are actually indeed what we want behind the wheel of our professional business. And then what needs to be done right now? What do we have to do this week? And who and what will it involve? Who are the stakeholders? Who are the people who need to know? I'm going to be at the office at 7 a.m. Will somebody be there to open the door? Or, hey, we're holding this meeting. Did the invitations go out? So that's 5 things right there that I believe people can do to help themselves think on purpose. You want to vet that thought and then do everything in your power so that thought can come to fruition, that it can come into what we call the 4th dimension. You can take it from here to a tangible place inside the 4th dimension that you can see, feel, and touch.
Man, that was powerful. And that was idea number 1, correct? That was idea number 1?
Actually, no, that was all 5 of them. I just ran down.
I thought you was going down them. I'm like, man, she's just breaking that thing down. She gave us all 5, by the way. And I'm going to ask her when she comes back. If she'll break down number 2, and she'll tell a personal story, a story of how number 2 applied to her in her life or her business. How's that?
Yes.
We'll be back in just a moment. You don't want to miss it. I like how you did. I thought you were doing 05. I didn't want to just jump in and say, what are you doing? We're going to go over back to Houston, Texas. We're going to stay out there in Houston, by the way, because my good friend Dorsey Hill is out there. And Dorsey Hill says, you got to be careful because there are mindset boundaries and you got to expand your mindset. How appropriate is that for today? We'll be back in just a moment. Take it away, Dorsey Hill.
Hello, hi, howdy. I am Dorsey Hill and I'm the founder of the Healthy, Happy, Fun Life Network. And I'm so excited to be here with you today to share my thought of the week with the Happy Entrepreneur Tribe. No, the fabulous Happy Entrepreneur Tribe. And I'm happy. Do you want to know why? It's a secret. Shh. It's just our secret. Don't tell anybody. It stays here in this tribe, okay? I'm happy because today is my January 1. Whoop, 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 January 1. And my thought of the week is boundaries. We're going to talk some more about boundaries today with your mind. Ooh, why? Because what you consume, what you digest with your mind shows up 100% in your reality, in your business. We consume so much through social media, through TV, what we read, the books we read, what we listen to, what we say to ourselves. And every single thing you put into your mind, it immediately goes to work to manifest in reality. And let me tell you, most of the time, you're doing things that are kind of poopy. And nobody likes you in your poopy entrepreneurial pants. We like you in your happy pants. Why? Because you're happy, you're healthy, you're having fun, and you're not pooping on everything, including your business. So don't put in junk, because that's exactly what comes out into reality, into your world. Guarding your mind, setting those boundaries with what you allow into your mind shows up 100% either in action or in no action. So keep your mind safe. Be careful what you put in, because what you put into your mind is more important than what you put into your body. Well, thank you so much for listening. I'm so excited for you guys to be here. And my wish for each and every one of you is that you are happy, you are healthy, and that you have a ton of fun in this life that you are creating and living. Big Texas love and hugs to each and every one of you. Bye for now. Mwah.
Well, welcome back to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country, where we have a mission, and that is to provide you with the resources necessary to execute the vision you have for the people you were called to serve. And what I like to do right now is we have a segment called the Champions Creed. And some of you may be familiar with that. The Champions Creed is when you encourage someone else. It's when you tell someone else you're a champion. And I'm going to ask you to look right below the video. Look right below the video. What's up, Michael Warner? What's up, Nicole Brown Hurston? Look right below the video and write these words: you are a champion. Hashtag never give up. You are a champion. Hashtag never give up. The Champions Creed is something that was given to me, Sharyn, by my mentor. And for all my new folks who are watching for the very first time, or listening on a podcast, or on Apple TV, on Roku, on Amazon Fire, or some of you are watching on social media, some of you are listening to a conference call right now, the Champions Creed is where we step back and we recognize someone else, because we let them know that they're a champion, that they can do it, to keep on going, to keep moving forward. And no matter how successful they are, there is another gear. Now, why do I say that? Because this poem was given to me by my mentor over 15 years ago. And he said, Shay, read this poem in good times. Read it in bad times. I'm going to read it. And as I read it, I want you to look below the video, and I want you to write these words: you are a champion. Hashtag never give up. Here it is, the Happy Entrepreneur, the Champions Creed. I am not judged by the number of times I fail, but by the number of times I succeed. And the number of times I succeed is in direct proportion to the number of times I can fail and keep trying. And keep trying. And we keep trying. I'm going to ask my good friend on the other side, I'm going to ask her, Sharyn, if you don't mind reading the Champions Creed. I'm going to put that up there. And after you read the Champions Creed, do you mind telling us a time that there was a setback, if that existed in your life? There was a challenge, if that existed in your life. And you had to bounce back. And you had to use the Champions Creed, the Champions Mantra, and do everything that you talk about right now to turn it around. Do you mind sharing that with the audience?
Not at all. Not at all. Let's put that creed back up there, and I'm going to read it.
Well, there it is. There's the Champions Creed. Take it away.
I am not judged by the number of times I fail, but by the number of times I succeed. And the number of times I succeed is in direct proportion to the number of times I can fail and keep trying.
And keep trying. And keep trying. We got to put the Puff Daddy remix version on it. We got to put the Jay-Z remix version on it. We're part of that generation. And keep trying. And keep trying. And keep trying. Take it away. Tell us about a time where you had a setback, and what did you do to overcome it?
Oh man, just a setback, a hard setback in my life, where I had the hot tears coming down, where your throat is burning and there's no sound but just hot tears on your face, is when I was living in Atlanta. And when I was in Atlanta, things were going well for me in Atlanta. I had nice friends, nice finances. I wasn't worried about my rent or anything like that. And my mom had fallen ill, and I had to go back to Tulsa, Oklahoma. And if you don't know, Tulsa, Oklahoma is a lot different from Atlanta, Georgia. But I had to go back to Tulsa, Oklahoma. And when I went back to Tulsa, Oklahoma, there was a series of events that happened real fast where I ended up losing my job. The things I thought I would have there, I didn't have. I was like, I'm going to go ahead and buy me this nice car and do this. All of that stuff went to naught. And I end up with nothing. Like, I literally end up with nothing in a record amount of time. If you ask me now, I still don't know how it happened just like that. But what happened was I end up with nothing. I had to work my way up to a bicycle. If I can just be honest, I was walking and had to work my way up to a bicycle. I would be carrying my mom's laundry to go and get on the city bus in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And I thought when I moved back to Tulsa, when my mom fell on those times, I was like, I'm going to move back because I was doing so well in Atlanta. I know I'll crush it in Tulsa. And when I went back, it didn't happen like that at all. I lost my job. I was trying to get an apartment. I had no furniture by the time I got the apartment. It was just hard. And I remember sitting on the couch one day and I just had to have a moment and tell myself, even though I was completely blindsided and I didn't see that coming at all, and so, and my faith too, my faith is a big part of who I am. And I remember thinking, even though I'm blindsided, God, I know you're not surprised by this. So it's got to be something in this it's got to be something here that I'm supposed to maybe learn or get, or even just grow through and recognize that adversity is not final. Failure is not final. And so during that time, even though I had nothing, like I had to if I can just be transparent, I knew I was still called to more. Like, I knew that was my present and that was the situation, and it was painful. I can still feel that pain and alienation even now as I'm talking to you about it. But I knew that wasn't my last place. I knew that wasn't my stopping point, you know. I knew that come tomorrow, the sun's going to come up and I'm going to get up. I knew I had a strong work ethic. I've lived on ramen noodles before. And so as much as I was in pain that day, I was like, if this is the worst thing that happens, we still all right. You know, I'm still going to have a good day. We're going to work this thing out. And so even though that was like horrible like that, that was a time when I just had to, and there was no one else around. I wish I could tell you someone came and said, hey, Sharyn, here you go. Here's this, or here's $5,000 here, here's $10,000 here, here's $500. You know, that's how bad I was doing. Like, stop playing. But none of that happened. But something in me was still like, I don't care. I'm going to still get up. I'm going to still go. I'm going to still grab this laundry and get on this city bus and take care of my mom in the best way that I can. You know what? I don't like walking. I'm going to buy a bike. I'm going to work my way up to a bike. Okay, that job didn't work out. There's another job. Like, it just, you know, when I have those moments, even now in my life, when I have those moments, I just tell myself metaphorically and like, I'm going to turn my head to the back and my focus is going to be so sealed on what's forward, not where I am right now, but what's forward. And we're going to keep it moving. That's where my main company is Do Something Daily LLC. That's where that comes from. Do something daily towards your goals. And so that was a time in my life, man, I was struggling. I'm talking ramen noodles, walking in the snow. You know, yeah. we may be living a dream now, vacationing in Dubai, but listen, life happens. And you have some disheartening times, and there has to be something that, whether it's your why or whatever, there has to be something that you can just look forward to. Don't get stuck in that moment. That's just the time and space. Yeah. It's just the time and space. You know, that's just 8:53 on that night. 9:55 is coming. Okay, I'm down on that, but I hope people understand that.
No, very, very, very powerful. Thanks for being open. Thanks for being transparent. Thanks for sharing that story. When we come back, I'm going to ask Sharyn to have her final comments. We're going to do a rapid fire segment where I ask her any question and she has to answer it, whatever pops top of her mind. And then I'm going to ask her to have some closing thoughts for all of you who are watching right now, because this is your moment. This is your time. And you, my friend, you are a champion. We're going to go over to Saucony Prince. He's down in Mobile, Alabama. He talks about, what does your vision look like? What is it that you get up for every single day? We'll be back in just a moment. Take it away, Saucony Prince.
Hi, this is Saucony Prince of SauconyPrince.com, where we make motivation personal by introducing you to yourself. And today I'm in the Happy Entrepreneurs Tribe, giving you my thought of the week. And I'm doing it because you guys rock. And today is my January 1st. My thought of the week this week is, what does your vision look like? That's right. What does your vision look like? You know, recently I had a chance to finish my annual summit. And one of the things I'm so glad about is that I was able to put my vision out into the world. I had a picture in my mind of what I wanted my summit to look like and what I wanted to happen. And no, it didn't go exactly as planned, but I put it out so the world could see. So what about you? What is your vision? What does it look like? And who can you show it to? There's a world waiting to see what you have on the inside of you. But the only way that's going to happen is you're going to have to put it out into the world. You can't just talk about it, but you have to be about it and do it to make it happen, because somebody's waiting to see your vision come out into the world. And look, this is Saucony Prince of SauconyPrince.com, where we make motivation personal by introducing you to yourself. And I'm in the Happy Entrepreneurs Tribe, giving you my thought of the week. And my thought is, what does your vision look like? Hey, look, back over to you, Shay.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome back to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country. And we have a mission now, is to help you really achieve the results you're looking for in your life. And I'm going to ask in this rapid-fire segment if the one and only Sharyn will answer a couple of questions. And the first question I have to her is, who's been a mentor along the way for you? And what lesson have you learned that you can share with the audience?
All right, I want to say I have two mentors. One of them is actually a Division I basketball referee, And he's been a mentor to me because he is all about continuing to move forward, mistakes may occur, but continue to move forward. And he always has like a kind and encouraging word. His name is Scott Davis, and he has a referee consortium, but he's always about improving, being a learner, being a lifelong learner. And so he's been a great mentor to me because he speaks truth, even if you don't want to hear it. He speaks truth. And another mentor is Donnie Payne. She's the CAO of Sips Consults and Casey's Properties. And I've watched her start businesses. And I've watched her start businesses from nothing, and they become multi-million-dollar businesses. And so just watching her and her ability to work even off the clock, to go and get information. There are things that you can outsource, but there's also things that you can learn. Just her giving her time, even after hours, DIY and learning things online that she doesn't have to learn. And so those individuals have been great mentors for me because I can ask them questions, and they're going to ask me questions. They're going to ask me hard questions back, which will tell if I've been, as the man just said, getting out there being about it. You can't just talk about it. They're going to ask questions that will expose whether I have done my due diligence or not. And I love that, I love that. Keeping it real, you need people in your corner like that.
What does Sandra do for fun? I mean, what does Sharyn do for fun?
Oh, I like to laugh. I like to laugh. Travel is my drug of choice. This year I was able to hit Dubai and South Africa and other places. But I like to laugh. I work hard enough that I just like to laugh, whether that's a comedy show, whether that's me watching, don't judge me, whether that's me watching Dave Chappelle, or something like that. But I like to laugh. So if it's anything that can be done that I'm going to be able to laugh at and laugh with my family with, then that's what I'm going to do. Travel and laughter.
Travel and laughter, man. I love it, man. That's something that's really cool. What's one of the books that you read recently, other than the good book, the Bible, that you've read that you said, you know what, Shay, I recently read this, and here's my takeaway that I like to share with the audience.
Leaderships. Oh, message. Such a good question, Shay. Leaderships by John Maxwell. John Maxwell has a lot of books, and I'm a John Maxwell trainer. But he has a lot of books, and a lot of them just talk about leadership. And some of them have the same, what I call same material, but repackaged. But in leaderships, this most recent book, what he's talking about is when you are a leader or when you are in a place and you have momentum going and you have to shift. You have to shift right now in this time and age that we're in. There's a lot of changing and shifting with technology being what it is. You may buy something that you've been thinking about buying for 2 years in technology and it's obsolete now. So you have to be able to shift quicker. And so leaderships is really good because it hits just some of the takeaways I have are how you detangle from certain relationships that may not be able to go into the next phase. I didn't say next level. I'm saying next phase because I don't know if it's up or down, but they may not be able to go into this next phase with you. And so leaderships is really good about just saying how you detangle there without destroying a relationship. You're still preserving the relationships. How you revamp and look at your goals and say, oh, wait, I need to tweak this and tweak that without embarrassment or worrying about status. Just as a leader, you're leading, but you're leading out front. And so when you have to make an adjustment or a turn, there are a lot of eyes. And that book really just helped me understand that even someone who's acclaimed and who sold over 19 million books, such as himself, that he's still having to make shifts in today's world. And so just some of the tools there and some of the camaraderie with recognizing that changes need to happen. That's a great book. That's not like it's 21 Laws at all. It's a good book.
Yeah.
Good, helpful book.
Very, very, very well said. And, when you look at the characteristics of someone that you want to partner with, someone, when I say partner, I mean do a collaboration with, someone you want to be a business partner with, what are 1, 2, or 3 characteristics that you look for in another person?
Integrity, as defined by being honest, being honest, not holding information that would compromise somebody, like integrity in that there's no intent to deceive in anything that you do. Compassion, because we all have ups and downs. And it's hard to partner with someone who doesn't have compassion. And the last thing I look for is not just being a self-starter, but the ability to hold your own. Even though we're partnering and we're going to have that synergy, I need to know that if the waters get rough, that at that time, I'm not just carrying you in the water, that everybody can swim themselves. And so I will carry you, but I need to know that you also have the ability to swim yourself. And so those are things that I look for in partnership. Everything else is like you can learn or people will glean, but characteristic things that deal with character, you really can't teach character outside of to a child, you know?
Yeah, no, I agree. You know, one of the things I love about these shows, I show up and I get to learn every single night. It's like happy hour with Shay Brown right now. It's like we have this happy hour that goes on and on and on, and I'm always learning. You know, that as you said, there, I guess, more yesterdays than tomorrows for some of us. And when you think about how you want to be remembered, and what you want people to say about Sharyn, I keep saying Sharyn. Yeah, I got it. Sharyn Combs. How do you want to be remembered? What do you want people to say about Sharyn?
You know what? My hope that my legacy is that I was able to help unlock people, not just unlock them for a temporary thing. You know, I don't want people to just say, because of Sharyn, I bought a car. Because of Sharyn, I bought a house. I want to be able to unlock the capacity in people so that they can buy houses, cars, or whatever, but to unlock that internal thing. And so that's what I would like to be remembered for. Helping people not settle for the lesser victories and unlocking who they are supposed to be. Like, I really love helping other people find their hum. I know what my hum is, which is HUM. You know, people when they're happy, they kind of hum or sing. I know what my song is, and I know what my hum is. But when I'm able to talk to people and help unlock theirs and unlock their song and their hum, like, that's what I want my legacy to be right there. That I was able to help people experience freedom, true freedom. Because if they can unlock their hum, their true hum and their true song, then I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. It's going to make room. The money is going to come. The influence is going to come because people recognize when things are authentic. You may have to work hard for it. You got to do that anyway. But all of those other material things are going to come. I know it sounds simplistic, but it's the real. I've worked many hours. I've had 60 and 80-hour weeks where, you know, my income was quadrupled in that year. But I've also had days where I wake up with my ears around my shoulders because I'm stressed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm grinding my teeth, and I'm not a teeth grinder. And so I was like, okay, you know, this isn't the payoff that I want for the quadruple income. Maybe we just double the income, and I'm happy here because I'm not losing out. Like I said, I still hit Dubai and South Africa this year. I'm not losing out on anything. I'm still able to influence and give money to companies and organizations that are giving back to the youth and helping, you know, disenfranchised people. So that's what my legacy would be, that I was able to help people unlock their true capacity. Not that basic stuff that people go for, Shay. Not that basic thing where I'm checking stuff off and you're impressed because you think I have all these external things, but internally I'm miserable. No, that real stuff that after you get everything and you're still unhappy, let's unlock your true capacity. And
wow.
So that's
I love it. Unlocking your true capacity. Serving other folks. You know, you have a heart to give. You have a heart to serve. One of the things I admire about you when we had our conversation was just your openness, you being authentic, and you just kind of sharing what was really on your mind. And that hit me. And I said, you know what? If we can make it work, I want to share your message with the Happy Entrepreneurs Tribe because you're making a difference. Look, ladies and gentlemen, we come back. We're going to ask Sharyn Combs. She's in overtime. She didn't know this, but she's in overtime. She's hanging out with us, by the way. Don't worry. She's just fine over there. We're going to ask her to have her final comments and final thoughts because today is your January 1st. And doesn't it feel good to know that at any given moment, you can make a decision and that one decision can change your life? Our message to you is stay the course. Hold your form. We come back, I'm going to ask her to, one, give us her final thoughts as we close out. We'll be back in just a moment. Let's go over to Rob Howes. Rob Howes is over in Laurel, Maryland. He talks about be present where you are. Be present where you are because today is your January 1st. Congratulations. Happy New Year to you. We'll be back in just a moment.
Hey guys,
All right.
me and Daddy are here.
All right, I'm doing a video.
I got a question.
No, it's not a question. This is a video where I'm telling people something. I'm telling them that today is their January 1st. Today is your January 1st, Happy Entrepreneurs Tribe, because today is the only day you got. Because tomorrow's not promised and yesterday is gone. So the reason why today being your January 1st is significant because it keeps you from procrastination. Procrastination is the destroyer of dreams. Yeah, it's the destroyer. It's the killer of dreams. So, take action. Be present where you're present. That's the real gift. Be present where you are present. That is the real gift. Today is your January 1st. Say today.
Today.
Say today is your January 1st.
Today is January 1st.
Say it loud.
Today is January 1st.
That's it. Don't forget it.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome back to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue-focused late-night show in the country, where we have a mission, and our mission is to give you the resources, and that's what Sharyn's been doing, giving you the resources necessary to help you support or help you execute that vision for the people you were called to serve. And that vision is so big. You can't do it by yourself. Sharyn, first, let me say thank you. Let me first acknowledge you for the champion that you are, for the winner that you are, the author that you are, the person that's out there every day giving back and supporting all the other entrepreneurs. I sat there with you this weekend, and one of the things I like about you, it doesn't matter who's in the room, you're focused. It doesn't matter who's in the room, you're there to give your best. And some people can't do that. If the lights aren't on, the music isn't playing, they can't show up. But no, you showed up and you gave your best. So with that being said, Sharyn, I'm going to ask you to give your final thoughts to the entrepreneurs that are out there watching right now. They've got to go out there and make this their best year ever. Today is their January 1st. Please share your closing comments. We've got to have you back on the show. We've got to have you back on the show. We've got to have you back on the show.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. This has been exciting. Just meeting you and talking with you has been great. For the entrepreneurs watching right now, my final thoughts are good job. Good job. In a world where a lot of people are afraid and just so bound up by fear, good job on stepping out on your goals. And so my final thoughts would be add value and keep moving forward no matter what. No matter what. Listen, the energy that you bring and the faith that you have in your goals, you're going to export that. You're exporting that everywhere you go. So do whatever you need to do in the morning with your affirmations, whether you've got the music in your ear, your YouTube or whatever. My final thoughts would be make sure that your energy is conducive to where you're going and where you want to go. And then go out and infect other people with that. As he said, don't just wait for the lights to show up. Practice makes permanent. And so get used to doing things when no one is looking. Get used to doing things to add value, not to be seen, but because it's a right thing to do. The money comes. The money comes. I'm telling you, I've seen times where it's something I didn't even work hard to do, and the payout was bigger than something I've been slaving over. So the money comes. What my final thoughts would be is good job, congratulations, and keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Make sure that that energy that you're putting out there, don't be fake. Don't be fake. But make sure that that energy is the way you feel about your dream coming to fruition. And as you think about that and what you're called to do and who you're called to impact, that's what you're going to export. And people will recognize that. And you'll be an influence for good, man. That's all I have. It's nothing super deep. Just don't give up, man. Tap into your dreams. It's possible. You're doing good. Congratulations. This is a great platform. Today is your January 1. Don't be worried about December 26th. Today is your January 1. Don't be worried about things that may say, hey, no, you can't, or what about, nah. Today is your January 1, and look forward toward the days that come after January 1. Don't get stuck. That's all I have, man. That's all I have.
Well said. Today is your January 1st, ladies and gentlemen. Today is your January 1st. You've been listening to the one and only Sharyn Combs. Sharyn Combs, you didn't tell them where they can go get the book. You didn't tell them where they can connect with you, but take a moment. How can they connect with you? Where can they get the book?
Hey, you can get this book at UCDI. That is Unique Charlie Delta ICE for ICE Code. UCDI Leadership. You can go on there. That is my website. You can get the page, or you can go to lulu.com, LULU.com. Just type in Hold Your Form. It'll pop up. You can get the book there. This book is guaranteed to shift your income and your trajectory. If you take the time to read this book and do the tips that have been laid out inside of this book, let me put it over here so you can see it. It will shift your trajectory and your income. Hey, it's a great stocking stuffer. So go ahead and get it. You can find me on Instagram at UCDI Network. Again, you can come to my website. If you're interested in learning more about mindset and thought, intentionality, find us on Facebook too with Think on Purpose Group. Just say you want to join and I'll be glad to let you in. You know what you should say? Shay sent me. Say, I'm with the Happy Entrepreneurs Tribe, and Shay sent me. And I'll get you right in there. I'll get you right in.
Because today is your January 1st. With that being said, thanks a lot, Sharyn. Thank you, all the happy entrepreneurs out there, for sharing this message, paying this message forward. Look right below the video. Look right below the video and make the declaration right now. Today is my January 1st. Let there be happiness in my home. Today is my January 1st. Let there be plenty of finances to do the things I want to do. Today is my January 1st. Let me walk on purpose. Let me live on purpose. Today is my January 1st. Let me say it again. Let my profits fuel my passion. Holla at your boy, if you will. With that being said, my name, by the way, is Shay Brown. Have a little fun. The Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. And I promise you from the bottom of my heart, we're going to make some good things happen. We connect again next time. God bless, and I wish you success. Peace. Bye, Sharyn. Peace to you, too, and everyone is out there.
Please go ahead and give a big standing ovation for the one and the only Shay Brown.
And I'm here right now in this moment with none other than the one and only Dr. Willie Jolly. What's up, my friend?
It's a privilege and a pleasure and a treat and a treasure to be in your presence.
All right, Delator, we're going to get started. You ready, Delator?
I'm ready, friend.
You ready, Dr. Connett?
Ready.
None other than Andy Henriquez. And we have someone like a Dr. Sonia, who's a bad sister. All right, now, go ahead with your bad self. None other than the Kim Warren Martin. That's the promise I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Yes. Yeah.
And they stay there, and they stay there, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win.
Thank you. God bless.